This is a special podcast presentation from 700WLW.com. This is Doc Thompson On Demand.com.
With the price of gas skyrocketing, I'm glad the Sears Auto Center offered me advice on which types of motor oil can help reduce engine friction and improve my car's efficiency, which is something I could really use right now.
Come into Sears Auto Center July 8th and 9th and get a $19.99 oil change. No coupon necessary, no shop fees. And earn $20 in Shop Your Way rewards points to use on your next oil change. Plus, find hot buys on Cooper Response touring tires. Sears Auto Center. Exclusions apply. See store for details.
I looked at her and I was just, wow, she looked so young.
I told her I couldn't believe how smooth her face looks. She's lost, 10 years at least?
I look at her and it's like I'm looking at a picture of my wife from 20 years ago. It's incredible.
How are ordinary women across America looking years younger? They've discovered the proven breakthrough called hydroxytone. It visibly reduces wrinkles, tightens skin, and makes frown lines disappear from view. See for yourself by requesting a risk-free trial of hydroxytone today. The results are so impressive. Hydroxytone was given away in VIP gift bags at this year's Emmy Awards. Find out how you can try hydroxytone free for 30 days and shed years from your appearance.
She always looked good to me, but now I can't believe how young she looks.
Call now for your risk-free trial of hydroxytone. For a limited time, try it before you buy it. 1-800-551-5191. But hurry, when this offer's gone, it's gone. Call 1-800-551-5191. 1-800-551-5191.
Was your home damaged by recent storms? Call the professionals at Patriot Roofing Company, a Better Business Bureau preferred local contractor. Don't be fooled by slick storm chasers. Patriot Roofing will be here long after they are gone, ensuring you peace of mind for warranty. Call today, 937-610-9666, or visit patriotroofer.com.
Hey, it's Lance McAllister. It's on to Milwaukee for the Reds. Can they brew up a win? How good am I? Tonight, Sports Talk in the Inside Pitch, 6:06 on 700 WLW.
Shop the King's Auto Mall just off I-71, where McCluskey Chevrolet guarantees to beat any manufacturer's price, or we'll pay you $500. Fords to Toyotas, Hondas to Hyundais. Just click CompareChevy.com to instantly see how every manufacturer stacks up against Chevy. Get all of the facts, then get the $500 McCluskey Best Price Promise. Complimentary 24-hour test drives at CompareChevy.com. See store for details.
Have an old sports program, baseball, or photo collecting dust? Sports Investments wants to buy your sports memorabilia and collectibles, like baseball, tickets, photos, programs, and cards. The older the better. They're also buying entertainment, political, and military items, toys, games, dolls, and advertising material. Just bring your items to Sports Investments and get fair value on the spot. If you decide to sell, they'll pay you immediately. You'll enjoy the experience of dealing with the Walter family at Sports Investments. Visit Steve on Montgomery Road in Montgomery or call 513-891-5000.
All right, so Casey Anthony has about $94.27 in her bank account. She was just fined $1,000 on each count. So that's probably more detrimental to her and her lifestyle than being kept in the slammer for a few more weeks. So guilty on each count. You get 1 year. They run consecutive, $1,000 fine on each count. And boy, that was riveting, wasn't it? The whole my client is a liar and a slut defense, which is, as we heard yesterday with Mike Allen, it seems to be taught in law school in the second year. Your Honor, once my lying client starts lying, it's all one lie. Hell, as defense attorneys, we can't even tell when she's lying. And once it starts, it can't stop. Oh, man. Oh, and then the prosecutor, they were distinct lies and not only one continuous lie. And then the judge says the jury spoke loud and clear. Not really sure about that now that the jurors are coming forward and saying they were sick to their stomach by voting not guilty on this, what does she call her? Nancy Grace? The tot mom. The tot mom. And then the play-by-play from ABC. Her hair is long and flowing today. Normally, she had her hair pulled back tight, but long and flowing, which is like code to say she looks like a slut today. She kind of does. So it continues on and on. You know, here is the irony in all of this. This is probably the best thing And this may be the unspoken as far as this sentencing, because the judge right now is saying, hey, look, and I don't know how much time she has served already. We're going to have to take an account of that. You know, you have your good time served. You have your time served as the model inmate at the Orange County Slammer in Florida. Here's why this is probably a good thing for her. If she were released today, the plan was to take her somehow out of that courthouse, probably in armed vehicles and in a caravan, and take her to an entirely different community and release her there because they feared for her safety in Orlando. So giving her some more time in a few weeks and late July, maybe early August before they set her loose on the streets to be exiled and get her date with O.J. Simpson. Probably in a weird sort of way, a very good thing. We'll check in with Mike Allen. He's going to be joining us, 700 WLW legal analyst Mike Allen joining us after the break here on the big one, 700 WLW
Trading Company. It's mayhem in Milwaukee.
Buckle your seatbelts, folks.
The Reds and Brewers pitch, hit, and trade menacing glares.
That's right.
Ambulances will be standing by.
The Reds are on the radio.
The Reds and Brewers. Marty and Jeff Collins.
It's amazing.
Tonight at 7:10 on 700 WLW, the home of the Cincinnati Reds.
Dave Armbruster for Joseph Chevrolet on Colerain. Ben Bishop loves summer because he can put on bib overalls and a straw hat and pretend he's a farmer. He's growing corn and beans and strawberries, and he's going to start selling them out back behind the service department. And when you're out Joseph Chevrolet picking up some lettuce, check out the best selection of new Chevrolets in the tri-state. Joseph Chevrolet, located a quarter-mile north of Ronald Reagan Highway on Colerain. Chevy is an American revolution, and Joseph Chevrolet is your low-price leader on Colerain.
Attention men, if you suffer from any type of male performance issues, and Viagra and Cialis have let you down, the physicians at the Ohio Male Clinic can help you now, regardless of your age or medical history. Call the Ohio Male Clinic now at 513-791-MALE. There's no pain or surgery, just the newest available safe and effective FDA-approved medications given to you by a licensed physician. They're so sure you'll have a positive reaction to the medication on the first visit that if you don't, it's free, guaranteed. In Cincinnati, call 513-791-MALE now. It doesn't matter what medications or health problems you have. Call the Ohio Male Clinic today at 513-791-MALE. If Viagra and Cialis have let you down, their doctors can help you in one visit, regardless of your age or medical conditions. Call the Ohio Male Clinic, now serving Greater Cincinnati. Call 791-6253 today.
NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, IndyCar Series, Nationwide Series, Camping World Truck Series. This is 700 WLW, an official sponsor of the Kentucky Speedway.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit matrixdirect.com.
Do you think you're getting your money's worth for your life insurance policy? Because if you're 40 and married and are paying more than $16 a month, chances are you're paying too much. Hi, I'm Brent Langdon for Matrix Direct. We partnered with American General Life to find you their lowest rates on term life insurance products. And if you're 40 years old and married, we could find you a $250,000 policy for less than $16 a month, which means you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Call us now for a free, no-obligation quote. Call 1-800-600-2804. Since 1995, we've helped millions of people find out if they could save up to 70% on their term life insurance. See how much we could save you. It only takes 5 minutes, and you could save up to 70%, and the call is absolutely free. Call Matrix Direct. 1-800-600-2804. That's 1-800-600-2804. 1-800-600-2804.
Have your financial questions been answered by Adam Bold? You can ask about investing for retirement, your child's education, or what strategy to use in this economy. Call the Mutual Fund Show hosted by Adam Bold every Saturday morning at 11 right here on 700 WLW.
Well, she gets the maximum, a year on each count of the 4 counts of lying to police. $1,000 fine for each, and the sentence is to run consecutive. However, she's going to get credit for time served. The judge in the Casey Anthony trial had to figure out, or has to figure out, how much time she has served already, and also getting good time, credit for good time. 700 WLW legal analyst Mike Allen joins us. Mike, how are you?
Hey, how you doing, Darryl?
Is this, to me, this is the probably the right thing to keep her in jail a couple of more weeks for no other reason than to let the anger die down.
Well, you're right, and there's a lot of speculation that he's doing it for her own protection. You know, he's a good judge, and people have to remember judges are political animals, too. I mean, they're not really supposed to be, but they are. He maxed her, but because of Florida's good time, she's not going to serve the entire 4 years. So, you know, he gets to say, and he truly appears to be a pretty tough judge. But on the other hand, she will get out pretty soon, I think.
Yeah, there was a lot of talk last night, and just watching some of the talking heads on the various news channels last night saying that they had already made plans to release her in another community. They were talking about letting her out of the jail after processing sometime in the middle of the night and then taking her secretly to some place and releasing her in a totally different community.
You know, that very well could be. And, you know, I got this question before as to what are the police's duties to protect her and her family. They do have a duty to protect her like they would any other citizen, and I'm sure they're thinking about that. And if she's got any sense, which is questionable, she's thinking about it too. They're angry down there from everything I've seen and heard, and I think the cops are going to have their hands full, you know, keeping the nuts away from her.
Well, last night they had a video of her neighborhood, and there were about 6 or 7 mounted police officers on horses surrounding that neighborhood and keeping people from out of the neighborhood there where her parents live and where the body of the baby was found.
Yeah, I think if I were her, whenever she's released, and my guess it'll be a couple weeks or so, I'd plan a vacation somewhere where nobody knows where she's going because, you know, it's kind of like the situation after O.J.'s deal, only worse. You know, there are people out there that probably would want to do something to her, and, you know, the police really do, in whatever jurisdiction she finds herself in, they do have a duty to protect her, and I think they'll take that seriously.
Mike Allen is 700 WLW legal analyst, also defense attorney and former Hamilton County prosecutor. And Mike, my client is a liar and a whore defense took a whole different turn today when the claim was made that once you start lying, you can't separate the lies.
Yeah, you know, that judge was right on top of it. And it's the same in Ohio law. If they're separate and distinct acts and incidents, whether it's within the same statement or not, and causes the police to do separate and distinct things, then it's 4 separate counts. And that judge was all over it. You know, they made this motion kind of at the last minute. You could see him on the video actually reading the cases that the defense lawyers cited to him. I think he expected this going in. He was ready for it, and he wasn't having any of it.
Now, they're also going to take some time to determine the cost of prosecution and the entire investigation. Do you have any idea what the cost of an investigation, 31 days, and then, of course, leading up to the trial for 3 years, how much the taxpayers had to pay to prosecute this woman?
My goodness, Darryl, I wouldn't have a clue, but it's going to be, for both the investigation and the cost of prosecution, in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I think what they're doing here is they're leveraging her going out and getting book deals and talk show deals, that money, whatever money she gets from that, are going to go pay for the cost of investigation and prosecution. And that's a new trend now that prosecutors are doing, not just on high-profile cases, but on others as well. It's trying to tag the defendant with the cost of prosecution and investigation.
Well, just in some research I did this morning, she has a bank account, and the only money she has is about $94 and some cents. And would they ever really expect to get any money out of her?
You know, Darryl, in the normal case, no. And I saw recently where one of the local counties are going to try again to get money out of prisoners for cost of incarceration. Mm-hmm. That's a dry hole. But in this case, you know, this woman has the potential of making all kinds of money. And the people that are running the show down there in Florida, they don't want to see her get that money. They'd rather see the taxpayers get reimbursed. But you're going to have kind of a prickly legal issue as to, well, now, wait a minute. Was this part of the cost of investigation related to the false statements? And I think they can make a strong argument that they are. and the cost of prosecution will have to be parsed out like that as well. Bottom line is, she's going to get tagged for a lot of money on both of those.
Yeah, but she also has some sharp lawyers, and is there a way legally that let's say the money she would get from a book deal or from TV appearances, because eventually she'll be on TV, that they would pay someone else?
Well, I tell you what, there's no criminal rule 1 in the Ohio criminal rules, but criminal rule 1 in the defense lawyer's mind is, I'm getting paid. And I got to think that she owes those criminal defense lawyers some money, and they're going to be first in line if they can to get their fee.
What?
If they haven't gotten it already.
That was my understanding, though. It was that was all pro bono.
Wow. And that's an interesting thing, because obviously they'll get a lot of good, and they already have good positive publicity, but I got to think somewhere down the line they struck a deal, and these are all private things. It's not public. They struck a deal with her that if she does come into some money, they get a part of it. I bet my last dime on that.
Yeah, I know. They were... the debate I saw on TV a number of days ago was how they were performing their duties pro bono, and the fact that she really was able, as far as the locale there in Orange County, Florida, she was able to gather a local dream team, so to speak, and they were making comparisons to O.J., but a local dream team because of the high-profile nature of this case.
My guess is there's a side deal that, if she were acquitted, or even convicted, and did get a book deal, something like that, you better believe they're going to get a slice of the pie, because when you do a high-profile case like that, your practice suffers. I mean, your practice basically goes down the drain because you're so intense on that case. So these guys are going to get taken care of one way or the other.
That's an interesting observation, because you would think that they would be able to profit from it, because all of a sudden they had all this advertising. They came out on the side of winning. I'll just call it that, the side of winning in this case, and now that their names, especially in Florida, are going to be very commonplace.
They're golden. I mean, There's nothing better for a criminal defense lawyer than to come off a high-profile win like that. It helps your practice in innumerable ways, but I got to think that there's some kind of deal with her that if she hits the jackpot, which she might, they're going to get their slice of it. But I think the state of Florida trumps them. The state of Florida is going to want to get the cost of investigation and prosecution out of her.
I hear you. Well, Mike, again, thanks for the time and the insight. And I'm it's going to be a couple of more weeks before we see her walking the streets in some community in America.
You know what? And you never know what happens too. I mean, there could be more legal issues coming down the line.
All right, Mike Allen, 700 WLW legal analyst, a defense attorney, and former Hamilton County prosecutor. I'm Darryl Parks. About 7 in front of 10 o'clock. She got 4 years consecutive. Credit for time served. She'll be walking the streets soon, meaning Casey Anthony. 700 WL. Well, Nancy Grace wrong again. She said last night that she was going to walk today. All right. Doesn't matter. She had high ratings on the day of the verdict. 513-749-7000. Cindy is in Villa Hills. You're on the big one.
Hey, I have a perfect place for Miss Anthony to go.
Where's that?
She needs to go move in with Charlie Sheen. That is his kind of girl. They're both nuts, and they both can run around saying, I'm winning.
Well, hey, Cindy, the dad, George, is from Ohio, so there are also pictures of Casey Anthony wearing Ohio State's like football jerseys.
Well,
let's hope she doesn't move to the Buckeye State or to the Tri-State area.
I hear you. Have a great day.
Hey, you too. Take a quick break. Hang on. We'll get to your calls and your outrage over the latest with Casey Anthony. She got 4 years consecutive, credit for time served, and she's going to be fined $1,000. We also have information about the latest way a terrorist is going to blow up an airplane by surgically implanting a bomb inside their body. You're saying, so what? Well, what invasive procedure is the TSA gonna impose on you the next time you fly? It's a minute before 10 on the home of the Red, 700 WL.